McDonald. I'm Hot Doc's Executive Director, and it's wonderful to have you all here this evening. I have a number of important announcements and pledge to be as brief as I can. First of all, thank you for relocating to the Lightbox tonight, and thanks to TIFF for their very generous hospitality. As you're aware, the Bloor is currently undergoing extensive restoration and will reopen as the Bloor Hot Docs Cinema later this year. We are thrilled. It will be beautiful. There will be more stalls in the women's washrooms, and we appreciate your patience. 11 years you waited for that. Thank you to City TV, Rogers, Ford Canada, the Sutton Place Hotel, and Fresh for their kind and continued support of Doc Soup. We look forward to seeing you again next month for a screening of Paul Goodman Changed My Life, and to welcoming director Jonathan Lee. As you all, some of you might know, we just completed an international search for a new director of programming at Hot Docs after the wonderful Sean Farnell left earlier in the summer. We thought it fitting that you be the first to meet her. Charlotte Cook is a very impressive woman. She comes most recently from Frontline Club in London, the prestigious media centre dedicated to celebrating and showcasing outstanding journalism, where she was head of programming and responsible for screening over 100 docs each year. She's programmed at the Edinburgh Film Festival, the BBC, Channel 4, and elsewhere, holds a master's degree in documentary filmmaking, and is a lovely, smart, engaging person. We interviewed dozens of remarkable candidates, and we were very fortunate to find her. So please welcome Charlotte to Toronto. She arrived this morning.
Hi, I'm so thrilled to be here. I've heard for so long how great an audience the Doc Soup one is, so I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you and hearing what you think about the films. And I feel really honoured to be able to speak to you in front of this film because it's such an incredible one. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. Before screening Marathon Boy, we have a special 4-minute short film that was developed and shot at our Doc Camp this summer. Doc Camp is a week-long program for 14 to 18-year-olds that Hot Docs runs each year. Special thanks to leaders Wade Vroom and Jessica Diamond, and congratulations to the young filmmakers Alex Dowell, Isabel Butler, Kyla Dimitriakidis, and Shahir Tarar. They're here. Please give them your encouragement. Congratulations. And now for the main attraction, you're in for a special treat. Marathon Boy was described by Variety magazine as, quote, epic, artistic, and archetypal. It was directed by Gemma Atwal, another talented London-based woman, that's our theme this evening, who has worked as a journalist, director, and producer on a number of important and significant documentaries. Marathon Boy is an award-winning film, has screened at leading festivals around the world, and we're delighted to welcome Gemma to Doc Soup.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for coming tonight. It's a huge honour for Marathon Boy to be opening the Hot Docs Doc Soup season, and I want to wholeheartedly thank Chris and Charlotte and Karina for making me feel so welcome. My film is set in the eastern coastal plains of India. It's a place called Bhubaneswar in Orissa State. And 6 years ago now, I came across a BBC News web story on a very small boy from India who was running huge distances on a daily basis, and it was both astounding and unsettling. I've run upwards of a dozen marathons myself, and the type of training that Budya was engaged in seemed extreme, if true. I also couldn't quite fathom how such a small boy would possess the necessary stamina or resistance, and this aside from ethical considerations. But I was curious without fully understanding where that curiosity might lead. I was aware of the hype surrounding Budya in his hometown and wondered if anything more than a disturbing freak show was in store. So I managed to locate Budya back in November 2005. I arrived just before dawn, and I remember it was still dark, but I could just make out these tiny legs swinging beneath a bench in what would become his trademark red pumps. They didn't even make trainers his size. And as I approached, he leapt up onto the bench and frantically began to perform this giddy song and dance for me while simultaneously making the victory sign with both hands. And I was just aghast at this little marionette show laid on for me and urged my translator to tell Budya that he was not required to perform for me. But looking at Budya in those first few moments, I didn't know if his story would turn out to be the stuff of Bollywood dreams or a child's nightmare, and it turned out to be both those things. So thank you all very much for coming, and I really hope you enjoy the film.
We'll see you for a Q&A afterwards, and please turn off your cell phones.